Salutations, YouTube. It's your boy, your friendly neighborhood from the hood, Rookie Stacker, back with another one, and this one feels special. Because as you know, for the last few weeks, I have made no silver purchases, no gold purchases. I was saving my money that I was making from my side hustle with basketball training to buy a full ounce of gold. I set the goal for myself. I reached the goal. And in the last few days, I've been doing a lot of tossing and turning on what piece of gold I should buy. Whether it should be an American Gold Eagle, because I'm in America and it's the most liquid. Or a Gold Buffalo, which is super hard to find and sometimes carry premiums higher than the Eagle. If it should be something like a Maple or Britannia, which wouldn't be hard to offload if I needed to. I just wouldn't get as much back as I would for an Eagle. Well, a lot went into the decision that I made, and you might be surprised with the one that I did. Many layers affected it, but I have to thank everyone who contributed to giving me some knowledge on what I should be doing. I also want to talk about my exit strategy for my metals in the future. That, I think, has given me even more anxiety lately, because everybody has a different strategy and everybody wants to share what their strategy is. But what works for you does not necessarily work for me. I'm a planner. I love to put things down on paper and really plan them out. Up to this point, I had only purchased fractional pieces of gold, mainly quarter ounce, because at the time I could afford it. Every time I couldn't afford a quarter ounce, I tried to grab a 10th ounce. I had a few more 10th ounces. I traded one. I gave one away. Say what you want, but it felt right to me to do both of those things. But when it comes to my exit strategy for the future, when I'm thinking exit strategy, I'm thinking 20 years in the future. Because barring something drastic happening in my life, say I need to offload because I'm in a really bad place, or I want to offload to put into something that I feel like would be a better asset, such as real estate, then obviously those are kind of special instances where I would offload some before 20 years. But when I think about what I'm going to do 20 years from now, I turned 30 this month. 20 years from now, I'll be 50 years old. If I had done things the right way and learned about this much sooner in my life, maybe I'd be thinking about retirement in my twilight years even earlier than that. But unfortunately, because of the education system in America, as well as systemic issues that keep certain resources out of Black and brown communities, this is something that I was completely unaware of until now. While my finish line might be a little further out than most, all that matters is that we all get there. So in 20 years, the way I would like to offload my gold, well, I kind of have to start by talking about all of my other assets. In 20 years, I'll have, fingers crossed, a brokerage account yielding me dividends that would at least give me half of what is needed to live on a yearly basis in America. As of right now, they say the average person needs about $40,000 to live in terms of income. Well, I'm not sure I'll necessarily make it there looking at the numbers at the rate of which I'm pumping money into the stock market, but I am safe enough in my investments for me to feel comfortable that maybe in 20 years, I'll at least have a dividend portfolio yielding me half of that in terms of passive income. So $20,000 would be amazing. I don't necessarily include crypto in this because crypto is so volatile. I'm not in it as much as I'm in stocks. I'm not in it as much as I'm in, well, I guess my silver and gold stack would be fairly even with my crypto investing. I don't invest into meme coins necessarily. The majority, I would say probably 90% of the money I have tied up in crypto is in Ethereum and Bitcoin, with a little bit of Shiba Inu sprinkled in, but that was mainly just for fun. In 20 years, Bitcoin and Ethereum, in the short term, at least in the next 5 years, experts are always saying Ethereum hits 10,000, Bitcoin hits 100,000. I'm not sure if that'll happen. Over the course of 20 years, I'd like to think, though, that those two figures are at least close. And if that's the case, then great. That's more income that I have that I could, preserve in silver and gold at the time that I feel like I want to exit, or continue to allow to build until I feel comfortable enough to take it out. But for those reasons, I don't necessarily include crypto into my 20-year plan. Whatever I have in there, I'll be happy with. So that brings me to silver and gold. While I have already told you that I would like a dividend investing account to yield at least half of what would be necessary to live off of per year, I hope that $40,000, if that's still a true figure, come 20 years from now, that my silver and gold stack can provide the other half. That way, whatever income I've saved up into an IRA, or whatever income I'm still making from a job that I might still be working at the time, still remains relatively liquid. So here's what I was thinking. I need to hit certain numbers to have things to pass down. But I also understand that at the time, the spot price of both might be set up in such a way where it might make sense to liquidate here and there. And so it's kind of been a vision that I've been having that each month, maybe I would liquidate a little bit if spot price made sense. Or if at that point I'm making so much in terms of streams of income that it just makes sense to liquidate at the time, and use it as some liquid money to invest in my later years and into more real estate, which is also a goal for me. But I need to do this in small increments. Now, it's very important that I'm not trying to put anything out there to tell somebody else to think of it the way that I think of it. But I think making small transactions has benefits over making large ones. I'm sure everyone listening to this can think of one big one in particular, which I'm not going to mention because I don't want to steer anybody into doing the wrong thing, and I don't want to insinuate that I take pride in doing anything wrong. But the one thing that's nice about having physical gold and silver is nobody has to know you have it. Everyone should absolutely pay their taxes, but we got to recognize that in the stacking community, I'm sure there are people who, let's say, forget. Anyway, when I offload, it's my hope that I can do so comfortably in a way where I can make small offloading transactions to then take those transactions after a certain amount of them to flip into whatever it is I'd like to enjoy after 20 years of my life. But I can, with a fair amount of certainty, say that I will never offload a huge amount of my silver or gold stack at one time without a proper plan in which I was doing it. So, for example, if I needed to get a down payment for a house, then I would offload obviously a larger amount. I still would do it in smaller transactions across different places, but at that point, that situation would call for me to offload a bigger amount. But for the most part, if I'm just trying to enjoy my life and I just want some spending money, say for vacations or things like that, I wouldn't mind unloading smaller transactions to enjoy that life as long as it didn't interfere with what I wanted to pass down to the rest of my family. Now, that's my exit strategy. Again, this is a strategy that I envision wouldn't happen until 20 years down the line. Dividend investment portfolio paying me at least half of what is required to live according to the nation's average, and a silver and gold stack that could easily be liquidated in such a way where I could enjoy whatever it is I want to enjoy or invest in whatever I want to invest in. Now, with that all out of the way, let me show you what I bought. I woke up this morning, I called the local coin shop that I had been in contact with and told them I wanted to come in and buy an American Gold Eagle. To which the lady at the coin shop said, "No, you can't come in today." And I said, "Why not?" She said, "Well, the owner's not here yet, and we prefer that you make an appointment first." Well, I said I had already talked to the owner. I told him that I would be looking to come in on Saturday. He told me to go ahead and come in. She said, "Well, I'm the only one here now, and I would prefer if you didn't." I said, "Okay, but I have to go and do things. I have work, and I won't be able to come later because I had to go and coach a playoff game today." And she said, "Okay, that's fine. We open on Monday at 10. And I said, "Well, Monday at 10, I have work as well, all the way until 5, and you close at 4. She said, "Sorry, that's just policy." Now, I think she might have gotten into some trouble because I got a call about 15 minutes later. Granted, I'm on the freeway already going to my playoff game now. And she says, "Hey, the owner's here. He says he would love for you to come in right now to get the Eagle, and he'll also, he'd also like you to look at the gym or the proof Buffalo, and you guys can work out a deal." I kind of got the impression that maybe he had been a little irritated with her because she sounded just a little, rattled on the phone. I told her, "I'm sorry, I'm already 20 minutes down the freeway. You know, I'll probably make arrangements to buy something somewhere else because you guys' store hours don't necessarily work out with my work schedule." And she then sighed somewhat rudely and abruptly hung up the phone. The owner called me while I was at my game. He left me a message. He seems like a very nice guy. In his message, he kind of just apologized for the inconvenience. He said that he would love to have me come in and look at things. Don't worry about an appointment. Just come in and say, "Hey, I'm the guy who had been calling," yada, yada, yada. I haven't had any other communication with him. I appreciate him for saying that. But at that point, I had already made a purchase. I called my private seller. I told him, "Hey, I'd like to take a look at your American Gold Eagles." He said, "Hey, I'm already out. I have a couple with me. Let's meet." We went and met, and so we get there. He pulls out the Eagles. He has two of them, both 2010, from a mint tube, but I didn't like the shape of them. I didn't like the shape they were in. They weren't necessarily super clean. It almost seemed like one of them had like milk spotting on it. I don't know if gold coins milk spot, but it almost seemed like it had milk spotting on it. And definitely didn't want that one. The other one was kind of beat up around the edges. And it kind of bummed me out because I really wanted a gold eagle today. He happened to have a Britannia with him. And remember, when I initially started this goal, it was because I really wanted a Britannia from my private seller. The premium was a little lower, $70 over spot. And it was kind of, because it's a 24 karat gold coin, I like that idea a little better than the 22 karat offered by the American Gold Eagle. And if I couldn't find a Buffalo, I had kind of made my mind up that I would be okay with a Maple or a Britannia. The Britannia in particular, because of all the security features, it would just give me a little bit of peace of mind. So because the American Eagles were in such bad condition, I got the Britannia. And I must say, I'm pretty happy with it. Anytime you can buy a 1 ounce gold anything, you should be happy with it. So I'm happy with it no matter what. But what I'm really happy about is the security features. You guys see the lock there? It turns into the trident at a different angle. You see the waving lines in the background. You see you probably can't see the micro engravings around the rim of the coin. But all of these security features have made me feel much better about this because at this point, there's no need in me too much worrying whether this is authentic. 2022 1 ounce gold Britannia. Big Mama on the back. and I couldn't be happier. Thank you, everybody, for the support and pushing me to save and do this, to hold 1 ounce of gold in the form of 1 coin in my hand. I can't say enough how humbled I am to get here. I hope that everybody who follows, or I'm sorry, who subscribes to my videos, who comments, if you have not already, this will happen for you as well. Holding a 1 ounce coin that you can call yours, that's made of 24 karat or 22 karat gold, will happen to you. I'm putting that out there in the atmosphere, in the universe, manifesting it for all of us right now. This was an amazing feeling. I'm going to encapsulate and enjoy. Shout outs to On Fire Guy. If you want good capsules for a cheaper price than the online dealers, hit up On Fire Guy. The only issue with the Britannia in these capsules, this was made for an American Gold Eagle because that was my intention. So it might rattle a little bit. That's okay. Thank you, everybody who was a part of this, who watched this video. Almost 17 minutes now. I know, I'm sorry. Most of you guys only watch up to 4 minutes. The majority of the views I get are mainly people who are not subscribed. I never usually ask, but today, to celebrate this purchase, if you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you enjoy listening to me talk, listening to me, watching me put this stuff out in front of you, subscribe. I can't wait to hear about everybody else's first full ounce of gold purchase. Whenever it happens, whether it be this video or 100 videos from now, please put a comment down in the comment section saying that it happened so we can celebrate together. Keep stacking. Stack responsibly and keep climbing. Rookie Stacker out.